Welcome, everybody. My name is Ben Franzini, and I'm pleased to be able to support this presentation today as part of National Conveyancing Week and as a charity partner of the Conveyancing Foundation. And while digitisation will and has changed the way in which transactions happen, we're here to talk about how this will not replace the judgment, experience, and problem-solving skills of a conveyancer. And who better in the industry to join us than Angela Hesketh, who is a dual qualified conveyancer and also heads up the market development at PEXA. So Angela, welcome. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Thank you. I'm really excited this morning to talk about how to indulge ourselves in conveyancers themselves, and that is my passion, as we know, having been in private practice for 30 years and then looking to move into the tech space, but really to with the main aim to bring that expertise within that. So really good point to be talking about today, and really excited to look about how the piece of the conveyancer is so key and how it matters.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. Well, why don't we kick off? So, conveyancing has changed a lot in recent years. What are the biggest shifts that you've seen?
I think from my experience and talking to so many conveyancers, the main issue is around that increased higher client expectation, the increased risks around what they're doing, and balancing that against the rise of digital solutions and which solutions to look at, what's the best, what provides the service that they want to do for their consumer and client. So it's incredibly challenging from that perspective.
Yeah, great. And so some conveyancers worry that digitization could reduce their role. What do you say to that?
I think the first thing I would say is the role is so huge at the moment that if there is anything that can bring those tasks down a little and supplement what they do and enhance what they do, and this is not about replacement. This is about how can we make it more effective and efficient for them to be able to provide the services that are increasingly difficult to meet those expectations, and what can be done to complement that. This is not, I don't see digitization as replacement at all. This is about how can we have that enhancement of that service.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I should probably mention as well at the top, if you can't tell, I am Australian, obviously, and my mum's a conveyancer as well, and she has been for over 30 years in Australia, and she's been through a lot of similar things there, and she's come out the other end and couldn't be a bigger advocate of this sort of digitization because she can spend her time on calls more now with clients and just going through the real advisory sort of role, what conveyancing really should be. So,
She enjoys it really, Ben, doesn't she? She
well, she,
enjoys
she,
it. She's gone from a
yeah,
point where it was incredibly challenging to something that will always have its challenges, but is also equally enjoyable and
yeah,
has the backup and the security behind it that enables her to work in the way that she wants to work, where she wants to work, and gets the best results.
yeah. And it's interesting you say where she wants to work. She was able to retire down the beach, although which was part of her plans. Although she's not retired, she's still working. So, I guess thanks to that sort of side of things, she's been able to live her lifestyle, the lifestyle that she wants. But while she can continue working on being a conveyancer too. So, yeah, it's really great. And I guess what are the aspects of conveyancing do you think that technology just simply can't replace?
Well, I think it's the core of conveyancing, isn't it? It's about conveyancing day to day has become so much about the routine, the administration, the chasing of information and trying to gather that information. Whereas the real value for a conveyancer is that judgment and being able to match the property details to the consumer's needs. Every consumer and client needs and wants different things. So being able to have the time to bring that together and build that client relationship and get us back to a point where it feels as if you can recognize and be recognized for the value that you do bring to that transaction. I think that's just so it's just so key.
Yeah, yeah. And you touched on some pain points there as well. So what are the pain points that conveyancers face today, and how is technology actually helping that?
I think there's so many. There is so many, and what we're not doing is solving everything. You can't solve for everything within this program. You can pinpoint different aspects. So whether that's improving security, whether that's eliminating repetitive tasks, whether that's reducing delays. There's aspects you can deal with, but this isn't a magic one. This isn't something that is going to solve for everything. But if we can make parts of it much better, then it enables you to concentrate on perhaps the other sections that aren't being touched from that
Yeah,
perspective.
yeah, yeah, for sure. And I think that's in most industries now as well. We internally face it too, both working at a tech company, but how we're trying to digitize things internally to get rid of those tasks that just nobody wants to do, frankly, and it's making our lives a lot easier, so we can do more things that actually matter, and actually get the best out of our role. Um, and
Yeah.
just on that as well, like skills as well. So what kind of skills would be most valuable for conveyancers in the future?
Well, I think the future is key, isn't it? And looking at how we can enhance their role so that we retain the conveyancers. This is a big thing for me. Retain conveyancers within conveyancing. They add so much value. They're so essential. They're the one person or entity that is actually representing the client and has that sole requirement and responsibility. But we also want to be able to encourage new entrants, people that are going to see conveyancing as something they do want to go into. Whereas today, I think it would be safe to say that the majority would probably look at other areas of law before they'd come to this. Whereas for me, when I entered, it was about, I want to do the one area of law where there's a positive outcome. To me, being able to purchase property and being able to deal with a property, yes, okay, there are edge cases, but in the majority of cases that's a real positive, and you can be part of that journey. And we want people to still feel that way, in my view, but give them the modern view of it to make it much more attractive in relation to how they do that and how they deliver that on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that a lot. And do you think, obviously, digitization is just something that we're in the midst of, but if we sort of zoomed out a little bit, do you see us getting to a place where that is the case again, where conveyancers are starting to thrive again, and they actually will have that enjoyment of, helping somebody move into a new home?
Absolutely. That's the reason I get up every morning and do what I do. That's about how can we get it back to there, because it is a positive thing. At the core of it is a positive result. It's just become such an arduous and difficult journey for many different reasons. And as I say, that isn't just down to digitization. There's many things that we do need to tackle, but it's one of them. And it's one of the things where we can make a difference, make it smoother so that we're in a position to then focus on other areas as well.
Yeah, brilliant. And most podcasts, I think they usually wrap up with something like, "Do you know the meaning of life?" or just something that's really, really deep. I'm not going to go quite that deep, but I guess if there's one message just from that you'd like conveyancers who are listening to this and watching this to remember from the session or otherwise, what would that be?
I think for me, it's that expertise and commitment to the client will always matter. And that personal ability to bring those different strings together is what it's all about, and that's what a conveyancer does, and they do it fantastically well, and we just need to look at how we support them to do that in the best way.
Yeah, 100%. Couldn't have said it better myself. Angela, thank you for joining me, and this has been a nice little chat, and hopefully other people can get a lot out of it as well.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.